So you can see there's a bunch of space between a void. And god dang it! Hello Internet, welcome back to the Digital Age Monster Club. My name is Mark, and this is free play in Portal Knights. Now, Portal Knights is a interesting game. It's kind of like Minecraft, but not terribly. It's a block-style building world. There's a creative mode. It's adventure style. Some crafting. You can use magic. There are NPCs. And there's a story, but it's not survival, even though there is a health system. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. And plenty of monsters to fight. Plenty of things to do. Alright. And far easier to gain experience in this game than in Minecraft. It's called Portal Knights because the land is fractured. So you can see there's a bunch of space between a void. And god dang it! Anytime you die, you lose some of your coins. It's a percentage. The land is fractured, and is because of some great event in the past. And the only way to travel between worlds now is to use portals. So Portal Knights, because your character is a aspiring hero of the realm, and you want to try and fix some of the damage that's been done. So it's entertaining. It's strangely addictive. It really does drag you in without you realizing it. But a good amount of fun. It really is. Get up there. There we go. Okay. Aha. And whoops. So there is 3 classes: Mage, Ranger, and Warrior. And they each have different specialties. I'm playing as a ranger. And he's good with a bow, a dirk, which is a kind of dagger, a crossbow, and a slingshot are his primary weapons. Whoa! He has a higher chance to dodge attacks. One of his big things. But he's not so good at melee damage, and he doesn't really have a specialty in magic. His main attributes are dexterity and agility. Dexterity increases his damage with his weapons, and agility increases his movement speed, character movement speed. So I'll show you that. Nope. So yeah, we got agility and dexterity. All these points are transferable across characters, or not transferable. You can, every time you level up, you get 3 points that you can pour into any of these. I'm in trouble with words. Attributes. I accidentally put 1 into Constitution a while back. So Yeah, there's no real benefit to putting points into, not that I've seen, outside of your main two, because like Wisdom is for your mana and Constitution's for your health, but it increases at 1 point each rather than what this is. I'm not even sure the ratio is, but yeah, it's just one way to try and keep people from like, or not keep people from to keep people on target, on task with what they're trying to do. And then of course you have what's called talents, and this is basically a bunch of things you can normally choose between, that allow you to specialize your character. So I've got In the Face of Evil, which increases damage by 5% for every enemy within 10 meters. Then I also have Orb Thief, which gives me a 5% chance that a ranged damage spawns Health Orb at my position, along with increased dodge chance and a chance to, when my health is low, to increase my dodge chance even more, and Bow Specialization, which increases damage. So it's this stuff. This is the kind of stuff that all stacks together. And you get a chance to choose the talent every 5 levels, all the way up to level 30, which is your max. And that's that. And then this is kind of what the world looks like. Rough overview. Really, really not the same. So you got over here your starting point, Squire's Knoll, and basically a plain, so some kind of was a little bit of a forest. And you have a desert, a autumn style forest, and then your boss, and then you have a tropical area, a swamp area, which is what I'm in right now, and then a winter area, and then you have your boss, and then you have a volcanic area, a mountainous area, that's the best way to describe that, and then space, and then the last boss of the game. And getting to each portal isn't really a problem. Getting your level up is if you're not starting out. Because how do I show this? So where's that? If you are a veteran of the game, so like you've done at least one character, a lot of your experience you'll get from digging up ore, which is something like this. It's iron ore. And there's a bunch of gems that you can dig up too, which are used for, this is all used in crafting of your spells and equipment and furniture. So it's all necessary. But the only other big thing that's going to help is quests and defeating enemies. And once you get to my level, which is 26, at that point, the only thing that helps is just basically farming out the highest level enemies you can find, which are typically going to be in the space area, or just going into a new world or what they call a new universe. Actually, this is referred to as a universe, not a world. And doing all the quests, the higher end quests, which is one way of doing it, but kind of boring to keep traveling between worlds, pulling out the same stupid quest or same repetitive quest, then going into a new universe and then repeating the process. It gets boring. But I'm going to go ahead and show you this. The game is nice enough. They updated I first bought this game last year, and very different. It gave you one event every like 6 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, something like that. It was a long time. They updated it so that there's more you can do in the time frame. And these are... Quest is a fair description of it. Typically it's killing monsters, sometimes it's digging up... finding a treasure chest, conquering a tower, destroying sandstorm crystals, or other stuff. But it's quite varied, so it doesn't get super boring really quick. And the enemies in the quest scale with you. Unfortunately, they don't scale their experience with you as well. It's going to be matched to the enemies that you face naturally in this world. So, for example, that's 627 experience points right there, which is par for this area. But the enemies that I face on like level 27 and 28 worlds are dropping like 1,300 experience each. So it's not worth the time to grind this out, really, especially since these mages take me forever to die for some reason. A massive amount of health. The fighter should have more health, the mage should be easy to kill. And then as for the combat itself, it's fairly straightforward. Each fight is more like a mini boss fight, because they're scripted style attacks. There's typically 2 attacks they do, or 2 movements. So like one will jump, one will create a shield, one will throw a object at you. It's once you learn it, it becomes very noticeable to dodge, and if you, as you see right there, that attack killed me in 2 hits basically, because the like I said, the damage scales, or the enemies scale with you. Whoa, jeez. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Yeah, I've got most of my gear is tuned to up my crit damage and crit chance. So that's actually fairly high. But still, the game will... I don't know why they decided to do it, but some enemies just have either high health or high defense, and it doesn't really add to the game. It actually feels like it takes away from it, because I don't want to spend a minute on each enemy. It's like, I got things to do in this game. So that's that. I'll go ahead and show you one of the boss fights. This is the worm pit, and this is the ancient worm, and yeah, kind of like your old-fashioned boss fights. Has a good little attack to deal with. You gotta find a way to defeat him. This guy summons worms. You gotta hit his tail, and then you just whack him. That's the worm. Yeah, the bosses don't scale with you. That's that. One of the best things about this game, though, is that it's typically less than a minute loading time, at least for my game. It's super fast. Which is really nice, because when you're trying to get a lot of stuff done, I don't want us to be stuck in waiting screens for half my time. And since last year when I played it, each area has been updated so that there's now actually a lot more NPCs in the game, more stuff you can buy, more stuff you can build, more decorative properties, and this is my home base, and a lot of stuff that I've collected. I was thrilled to find out when I got to the space area again that I can collect meteors, which act as light sources. So cool. But you also got, like for decoration purposes, you got trophies you can hang there, and there's some banners you can collect from certain quests. Few statues that you can pick up from just adventuring. Some you can buy. And then some lights or lamps that you can also pick up around the world as well. And oh yeah, secret bookcases. That's endgame, but you can get a few of those. And then I'll give you an idea of the crafting. But oh yeah, this is actually a trophy of the meteor. I got that for a quest. That was fun. But there's copper, iron, and gold. Sorry, copper, iron, gold, and titanium are your main metals. And then you got things like wood and stone and dirt. But you got other building blocks as well. You got all this kind of stuff: hay bales, refined obsidian, jade crystal, stone bricks, gold-plated blocks, and that kind of stuff. And then you got, for gems, you got flame rubies, verdant emeralds, electro quartz, sea sapphire, sun diamond, moon opal. And those can be crafted into, they're called refined, but they're really, they're refined, like refined flame ruby. They're really just jewelry. And this stuff is all basically mostly used in terms of crafting magic stuff. So very important. That honestly, this was the nightmare of the game when I was grinding out the last time I played. Because it's just now you can regenerate your universe, which basically undoes everything you've built, but also replenishes all the ore and gems and its landscape and everything, so that you can gather it again, which is very nice. But the last time I was playing it, you couldn't do that. You literally had to restart the universe. So I'd run out of titanium and moon opals in my the space areas that I've been doing, and I'd gone through almost the entirety of my second world, and I was just like, oh, gonna have to start a new one. And I was very put off by it, but now it's a lot better. And then all this stuff in this chest here can be used for crafting. And then I've got more crafting stuff. All this stuff here is used for creating potions, some health and some mana, which, like this one right here, the Mighty Healing Potion. It comes in very handy to have those, because as you can see, I've got a massive stockpile here. And then, in terms of like equipment, you've got character-specific gear, and the mage has spells. All characters can use the spells, but the mage gets the best discount on the mana cost and the damage off of it. So something to keep in mind. And then the warrior has shouts, the warrior is a melee attacker and can't hit ranged enemies. Now you can craft, like I did, because I had a ton of gold. You can craft throwing axes, which negates the range, but now you gotta stock that. Or you can use shouts, which will... one thing they all have in common is they will knock flying enemies to the ground, but they all have second effects. So this one reduces damage taken, this one increases friendly damage, and this one reduces enemy damage. So, just stuff like that. And then, of course, in terms of your gear, there is a vanity option. So, if you don't really care for how your gear looks, you can have something else in your vanity slot which will change your appearance, which is quite nice. And this is your crafting tab. I'll go back downstairs and show you. So you've got the archer station for mostly your range stuff, anvil for your warrior stuff, altar for your mage gear. Workbench is general. It doesn't really do any specialization, but is where you can craft your potions and most of your tools, actually. All your tools. I stand corrected. All your tools. And then, of course, you got your furnaces, which are how you turn your ore into bars. Yeah. When I played this last year, it was 10 titanium ores and a piece of coal, one piece of coal, or maybe more, to get a titanium bar. They've severely nerfed that because I think it was stopping a lot of people from getting the game. And then the moon opal stuff right here, that was like 12 a piece for one gem or one piece of dust, which is why I had mined up my entire world, basically, because I was trying to create this stuff for my spells. And then, as you can see, like the higher the tiers, the higher tier stuff is also far more damaging and offensive. Like, whoops, this here. This is actually what I've got on right now. It's better defense and better stats. And the little secret to this stuff is that the one of the outfits will be very useful against the boss that you face. So for the Archer Station 2, that worm that you saw did earth, had an earth element affinity, but if I'd worn the Unfallen Elite hood, gloves, tunic, and leggings, I could have reduced all the damage by 12% total, which would have been a lot if I'd been taking a lot of damage in that fight. But I'm fairly well beyond that now. So, and then beating bosses can give you certain weapons that you don't, or certain gear you don't have access to. And some monsters will drop scrolls, which are basically recipes for new stuff. Sometimes it's gear, sometimes it's decorative blocks or furniture. And yeah, so there's plenty to do. It's not crazy. I know that the big problem. I said the big problem was the getting your experience level up. Honestly, you can still get that up pretty quickly. There's certain things you can do. Some quests you can basically grind out even after they're completed, which will help. And if you do have a universe set up so that you can just go from island to island, completing quests. You can still, max it out pretty quickly. Your big issue is just going to be keeping your health up and not dying. But no, Portal Knights it's a lot of fun. It really is. I haven't really had the chance to do this with other people. From what I've seen of the reviews, it does seem like it's a pretty good experience to do with other people. And I personally would love to do it with other people. But yeah, it's good fun. And then of course there's a creative mode, or you can create a universe in a creative mode, kind of like in Minecraft, and just go build to your heart's content. So you can do better than my kind of boring house right here. So that's basically it. Oh, other than the tools, I can go over this, but so you got your pickaxe, drill, which best for dirt is really what it is. A mining claw, which is good for gems. The pickaxe is good for stone ores, coal, and metal blocks. Yeah. There's an arcane compass, which helps to show the position of portals, which is really great in later worlds when they branch off, like this one. So it helps you keep track of where you're going. And you got potions, which can restore health, or well, the two big ones are health and mana. But then you got other specialty potions, which can do other things like increasing damage, reducing damage. One resets all your attribute points. And then you've also got you can create a hoe for farming, because like right over here, so you can grow this kind of stuff. Most of the stuff you can sell. And then an axe, which is great for getting wood. And you got a resource scanner, which is great for finding gems and ores. So yeah, there's plenty to do, plenty to build, plenty to find, plenty to kill. And you can also have pets too. And there are shops now where you can buy pets. Some pretty neat pets are available. But that's pretty much it. So I think I might do an informative series in Portal Knights after I'm done with Minecraft. Now that I've been thinking about it, I'm not sure how much more I can do with Minecraft after I start doing the multiplayer. I like Minecraft. I'm going to still keep playing it, and when updates come out, I'm probably going to do that. But getting through, or once I'm finished with my main stuff, I think I'll move on. So, but oh, and every little island that you can see in the distance, you can actually get to. So these, the areas that you're in are actually fairly big. So you can do massive builds, or really intricate ones if you're up to it. Why are my eyes on fire? Did not notice that. Okay. Well, that's it for this video. So, thank you for joining, and hope this looks cool to you. If it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. But I like it. I recommend it. So, thank you for joining me, and hope you come back for more videos. And until that happens, take care.